Backdoor. A backdoor is when an offensive player deceives their defender by cutting behind them towards the basket, often leading to an open scoring opportunity. Transition. Transition is when a play ends following a change of possession, where teams aim to quickly move the ball up the court to exploit defensive vulnerabilities before the defense can set up. Screen. A screen, otherwise known as a pick, is when an offensive player stands in the way of a defender acting as a wall. This is frequently used in basketball as it creates an advantage for the offense. There are many types of screens and plays you can run with these screens. A pick and roll is the most common. After a player has set a screen, they will roll towards the basket for a layup. A pick and pop is the same thing, but instead of rolling towards the basket, they pop out for a shot. An off-ball screen is when a player sets a screen for another player that doesn't have the ball in their hands. A down screen is when a player screens down for a player to come up off the screen. A flare screen is a screen off the ball with the intent to get a shooter into a better location. An elevator screen is when two players come together after a teammate has run in between them, acting as a closing elevator door. A ghost screen is when a player fakes setting a screen to create confusion, which often leads to an open shot. Hesi, or a hesitation, is a dribbling move where a player momentarily pauses or slows their dribble to deceive defenders before accelerating in a different direction. Euro step. A sideways step to evade a defender before finishing at the basket with the other foot, often used to navigate around defenders and create scoring opportunities. Boxing out. A fundamental technique used by players to establish position and prevent opponents from securing rebounds by using their body to create space and block out opposing players. Help defense. Defensive strategy where players provide assistance to teammates guarding the player with the ball, often involving rotations and double teams to disrupt offensive plays and protect the basket. Zone defense. A defensive strategy where players are responsible for guarding specific areas of the court rather than individual opponents, aimed at limiting scoring opportunities. A 2-3 zone is the most common, where two people are up top and three are down. A 3-2 zone is the same thing, just flipped. And a 1-3-1 is one person up top, three in the middle, and one down. Traps. A defensive tactic where two or more defenders converge on an offensive player, often near the sidelines or baseline, in an attempt to force a turnover or disrupt the offense. Over and back. A violation that occurs when an offensive player with the ball crosses the half-court line and then walks back over the line without the ball being tipped or stolen by the defense, resulting in a turnover. PER. A stat used to evaluate a player's overall contribution and efficiency on the court. It takes into account statistical categories such as points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and turnovers, adjusting for the pace of the game and the player's playing time. A higher PER indicates a more productive and efficient player, making it a valuable tool for comparing players' performances across different teams and eras. Usage rate. Usage rate measures the percentage of team possessions a player uses while they are on the court. It shows how involved a player is in their team's offense, taking into account field goal attempts, free throw attempts, and turnovers. Field goal percentage and true shooting percentage. Field goal percentage is the percentage of shots made by a player or team. True shooting percentage adjusts for the value of three-pointers and free throws, offering a more accurate representation of a player's overall scoring efficiency. Offensive rating. The estimated number of points produced by a player per 100 possessions while they are on the court. It takes into account a player's scoring, passing, and overall offensive contribution, providing insight into their efficiency in generating points for their team. Defensive rating. The estimated number of points allowed by a player's team per 100 possessions while that player is on the court. It measures a player's impact on their team's defensive performance, considering factors such as steals, blocks, rebounds, and opponent field goal percentage. Box plus minus. The amount of points a player's team scores minus how much the opposing team scores during the time span that the player is in the game. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Comment down below what I should do next.